Welcome back. The South African National Defence Force says it needs nearly R1 billion in funding to continue its clean-up operation of the Vaal River sewage problem. The Army intervened late last year after sewage spilled out of people's houses and into the Vaal River over a period of several months. The SANDF says while progress has been made, the project's in dire need of a financial injection to keep going.
When the Army arrived at the Vaal in November last year, it faced years of sewage buildup now overflowing. Residents in the Vaal were subjected to gallons of raw sewage gushing up their drains. After just a couple of months of work, residents are pleased with the improvements. Mpotipala says her family home was flooded with sewage water on a daily basis.
The situation was horrible. There was always a pool of sewage in the yard, and sometimes the sound of the sewage water bubbling out of the toilet would wake us up. We would wake up to the house flooded with raw sewage. It was disgusting.
She says the Army's intervention has been a breath of fresh air.
We are thankful. I'm thankful because my mother's happier nowadays since the Army stepped in. It used to disturb her spirit, so now my family is happy.
For a long time, fishermen had abandoned the Vaal River due to the continuous warnings of the health risks that go with fishing there. Even though these warnings have not been lifted yet, others have started fishing again.
We started to fish here again because the water looks cleaner. We eat the fish and sell others, and we've had no problems.
Despite the intervention, other residents fear the legacy of the pollution on the river will be felt long after the problem is solved.
Lasting environmental effect is that the sewage turns into a sludge when it's digested, and that sludge is lying on the bottom of the Rietspruit, on the banks of the Rietspruit, and all through this area we call Loch Vaal.
The Army has been able to clean up 2 primary settling tanks at the Sebokeng wastewater plant, but says there's still a long way to go before they give all the plants a clean bill of health.
There's still work that needs to be done. Take into account that this is a massive job. It cannot be work done within a month. You know, people must not expect a miracle. Like they say, when you want to eat an elephant, you must have a small bite. You cannot have it all because it will choke you, you know. So that's how we are moving. Very slowly, but we are getting there. All I'm saying, people need to be patient. We will get to them. There are about 2 other wastewater treatment plants, and in total about 44 pump stations, let alone the rising mains, because some of them, the infrastructure is old.
With the backing of National Treasury, the force is confident funding will be provided.
Treasury is behind us. There's no two way about it. Treasury is behind us. They're going to issue this funding in 2 folds, the in-year and the financial year. Once we submitted the required document in terms of the scope of work is going to be covered by X, Y, and Z.
He awaits in anticipation of an announcement of funding from the Finance Minister during his budget speech on Wednesday. Vaal residents will also be keeping their eyes focused on the South African Human Rights Commission's inquiry into the contamination of the Vaal River. Scenes of sewage water streaming down the streets were a common occurrence from most households here in the Vaal until the Army stepped in. But now, with the funding of the project hanging in the balance, residents here say they fear the nightmare may return to haunt them. Itakana Magwedza, SABC News in the Vaal.